Alcohol is seriously big money. In fact, some of the wealthiest people on our planet today have made their fortune by selling this highly addictive drug. It's the perfect product to sell because people struggle so much to stop drinking it. And the craziest thing is that you are being brainwashed into drinking it. You actually have no control over whether or not you put this stuff in your body. And do you want to know why you're being brainwashed? Well, the alcohol industry employs 3.3 million people, and in 2020, the alcohol industry generated $146.25 billion in revenue. The global market for alcohol is projected to reach $1.684 trillion by 2025. And you wonder why it's so hard for somebody to stop drinking. Well, with those figures, it's pretty easy to see why. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how society brainwashes you into drinking alcohol and exactly what to do about it. I'm going to show you how to destroy the brainwashing so you can make not drinking or drinking an easy, logical decision instead of it being an emotionally charged decision that's kind of pulling you along. I want you to take back control of your decisions and your life and your drinking. Can't wait to share this with you today. And a very quick introduction, my name is Leon Sylvester. I'm the founder of SoberClear.com, which is a coaching company that helps business owners and professionals stop drinking alcohol in as little as 48 hours. If you want details on that, you can go to SoberClear.com. And if you want a free video training that shows you more about how I used a new method to stop drinking alcohol quickly, you can click the link in the description and get access to that training. You'll need to put your name and email address in, and then a new video will start playing, and it's something that I don't publish anywhere else. So the only way you can access that is by clicking the link down below, but that will show you how to actually control your drinking as fast as possible. So how does society brainwash you into drinking alcohol? Well, it all boils down to one word: a paradigm. And a paradigm is basically a worldview. It's a understanding that a lot of people buy into. And if we think of the paradigm of alcohol right now and what the current paradigm is for 99% of people, is it looks something like this. Drinking alcohol is fun. Drinking alcohol is a great way to relax. Drinking alcohol tastes good. Drinking alcohol is cool. It's trendy. It's popular. Drinking alcohol is sophisticated. If we're going out with friends, we have a drink. If we're going to somebody else's house, we bring a bottle of wine as a nice gift. And basically, it all boils down to one thing, and it's all built upon this foundation that somehow alcohol, this drug, adds value in the world. We think as end consumers of this poisonous addictive drug is that we drink it and we gain something from it. We get value. I bought into that illusion for close to 10 years, which is why I struggled to stop drinking. And it's why so many people find it so hard, because if we genuinely believe and accept the current paradigm that alcohol adds value in our life, if we try and stop drinking alcohol, of course it's going to be difficult, because we genuinely think that this alcohol that's up here is this amazing thing that we kind of hold on a pedestal, and we're down here and we're looking up and always thinking, yeah, that stuff was good. And what people don't do is they'd never really put alcohol down here, put themselves above it and say, that stuff just sucks. But basically, there's a message that's pushed on us 24/7 since the day that we've been born of this paradigm, of this worldview, and we've been conditioned to also buy into it. Nobody ever sat down at the beginning of our life and said, Leon, welcome to the world. In this world, alcohol is seen as this amazing thing. You basically got no choice, but we're going to feed you messages for your entire life until you buy into it as well. It's why most of the population drink and why most of the population don't smoke crack cocaine. But I have a totally different paradigm. My paradigm is different to society. I don't buy into this paradigm anymore. And I will show you how to shift paradigms in a minute. But let me explain the way that I see alcohol to you. Don't turn off the video. It might challenge your current worldview, but that's the whole point of this video, is to challenge your worldview and help you have a more realistic worldview. So when I think of alcohol, here's what I think. Alcohol tastes like shit. The only reason why I drink to relax is because alcohol makes me unrelaxed in the first place. If I drink alcohol, I'll never achieve my goals. If I drink alcohol, I'm confident that I could ruin my entire life and stay hooked on that drug forever. Alcohol is nothing more than ethanol. Alcohol is a highly addictive poison. Alcohol adds zero value in my life. I have no desire to drink alcohol. I do not feel like I'm missing out on anything. And stopping drinking was the easiest thing that I've ever done. It was the most logical and simple decision I've ever made. So how could I go from buying into that paradigm that alcohol adds value to completely shifting my beliefs? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. The first step that you need to get your head around is you need to come to terms with and accept the current paradigm in the world today. And you need to accept that once you've shifted your understanding of alcohol, is most of the population haven't shifted it as well. And you don't need to do this from a place of judgment. You don't need to do this from a place of superiority, but you need to accept that most people that you interact with have got it completely wrong. Their worldview when it comes to alcohol is incorrect. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm not trying to think that we're better than anybody else by any means. But you need to be so clear on your worldview that when somebody else presents an alternative worldview, you never buy into it. And that is almost toxic, right? It's black and white thinking. And with pretty much anything else in the world, I'm willing to change my mind if somebody can present better evidence. But there is no better evidence because alcohol is nothing more than ethanol, right? That's all you really need to know. So nobody can say anything to me. They can't justify any reason to drink alcohol that I will ever think, yeah, okay. But you need to accept that even sometimes people that are very close to you might have it wrong. Your family, your wife, your husband, your kids, people that you love, that you're close to, may have a worldview that you need to kind of say, nah, do you know what? I'm good. And you don't need to start preaching. You don't need to start doing anything at this point. You just need to accept that this is the way most people see alcohol, and that's okay. They're on their own journey. They're on their own path, but you've got to come to terms with this first. So how do we shift our understanding? Well, the most important thing is you need to do your own analysis. You need to go and look into alcohol and what it is and what it does and what we think that it actually does. And you need to come to your own conclusion about this drug. Now, the way that I did this, the way that I teach it, the way that I help people do it, my clients in the Sober Clear program, is we use a mental model. We use something called first principles thinking. And what this means is we ignore society's worldview. We ignore, especially when it comes to actually stopping drinking, that, we need to use willpower, we need to resist, we need to go to a therapist, we need to go to AA meetings, call ourselves an alcoholic. We ignore all of this stuff and we actually start breaking the problem down into all of its component parts. Now, if you want a quick way to do that, join my program. You can click the link down below. You can book a call. We can see if the Sober Clear program is a good match for you. But if you want to do it on your own, it takes a lot of introspection, right? It's a lot of work that I did myself, but you want to start writing down the beliefs that you have about alcohol. What do you think that you gain from that drug? Why do you think it helps you relax? Why do you think it does all of these positive and beneficial things? And once you can start understanding your beliefs and start writing them down and actually start seeing them, well, then you use first principles thinking. You start studying and dissecting those individual beliefs. I used to have a belief that no matter how many books that I read, no matter how many things that I did, that one day I could be a normal drinker. Now, the only way that I could ever get rid of that belief was actually by stopping drinking and starting drinking again, destroying my life for the 100th time, and then realizing there is no such thing as a normal drinker. And listen, first principles thinking, it's hard, it takes time, it takes a lot of study. You're going to have to read books, you're going to have to watch YouTube videos, you're going to have to read studies, you're going to have to listen to podcasts, you're going to have to listen to people who have got a paradigm that you want to adopt and start understanding their worldview and their beliefs. But it takes a lot of time. But I want to promise you one thing. If you put in the time to solve this problem, I can say with certainty that there is not a higher value activity that you can do. If you look at the return on investment, you could spend the next 20 hours of your life, 30, 40 hours, researching alcohol, understanding what it does, and guess what you get in return for it? You get back a lifetime of freedom. Is that not the most beautiful thing ever? You spend 30, 40 hours, maybe a few $1,000s on some courses, some books, some coaches, you find help, you really understand the problem, and you start shifting that paradigm that you've been holding on to and start seeing it for what it is, and you get your entire life back. How about that for some efficiency? I'm getting goosebumps telling you this because it's so true. You will get your life back. If you can do your own analysis and peel back the layers, start seeing the lies that have been pushed on you that you didn't sign up for, once you get to the end of that path, oh my days. And I promise you one thing, you can do this. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried already. It doesn't matter how many failures you've had. I've had so many failures, so many failed attempts, but I still did it. I've worked with people who have drank, liters of vodka a day for 20 years. I've also worked with people that have drank a bottle of wine, 4 times a week and it's worked for them. Not saying that you need to drink a bottle of vodka a day for this to work for you, but if you put in the time, it will work for you as well. It's impossible for it to not work because once you see alcohol for what it is, once you see it as that poisonous, addictive drug that does nothing for you, how can you ever decide to drink that again? Anyway, if you want help doing it, go to soberclear.com, click the link in the description to get the video training, and if you click the video on the screen now, you can learn why everybody is stopping drinking.